Hey, welcome once again to Half Broke Movie Mayhem. I had to just tonight jump on here real quick and do a review of a movie that I've seen. I wasn't planning on doing this now, but I wanted to get this out there because this film is just a different freaking level. And it was one of those movies when all the nominations for this year was coming out and stuff. I was like, really? Can it be that cool? And let me get into this. The movie I am talking about is 1917. It's the new film by Sam Mendes, directed by him. Of course, it's all over the nominations. It was the Golden Globes one, and of course, it's up for Best Picture and Best Director at the Oscars and everything. And this movie hit me like a ton of bricks because I don't know what I was expecting going into it, but this movie is just so good. And it's been such a crazy great year for film this year, that there's so many great movies, that it's crazy to think that every time you see one, the other one tops the other one. But 1917 is about basically it's about these two soldiers that have to deliver this message, and one of them's brother is in the the crew that they're trying to get this to save them because they are getting set up to run into a trap. So they're having to get this message to them in a certain amount of time to save all these soldiers. And one of the soldiers that they're trying to save is one of the guy's brothers. The amazing technical thing about this movie is it is shot to be one continuous shot. The whole film, it's like it's in real time. There are scenes in this movie and shots in this movie that will literally stun you on how in the world could they have pulled this off. There is one scene where they walk out at night with it being lit up. There's a fire in this broken down town. This isn't really a huge spoiler. Honestly, this movie isn't one of those type of movies anyway. But there is this shot where walk out. They've lit part of the city on fire, this town on fire, and there's flares going off, and it's causing these shadows. And oh my gosh, this is Roger Deakins is a freaking rock star. If you haven't heard of him, he's done everything. He's done all these great. He's the director of photography for all of these great films, Blade Runner 2049, Oh Brother Where Art Thou. He's done so many. Just go look him up. Roger Deakins. He is a freaking rock star. He is the greatest living cinematographer in the world, hands down. And he was great before this movie, but somehow, in my opinion, he topped himself in this movie. If there was ever any slight doubt about who the greatest cinematographer is living, he solidified that now. He is the GOAT when it comes to this. Sam Mendes, who I dig a lot of his films anyway, topped himself. I liken this movie a lot to Dunkirk, but in a different way. It's just that same vibe, but this one is better, and I loved Dunkirk. This one is totally deserving of all the nominations that it's getting right now. And if you haven't seen this, go run see this film in the theater now on the big screen. It is just that good. It will be, here's the thing, being that it is one continuous shot, it is literally one of those films that, because it does that, it never lets go of you. It's so immersive, that feeling, because it's like a video game to an extent. You are the eyes that are peering at these characters in real time as this stuff is happening around them. It is hard to explain some of this without really laying out a lot of storyline that I don't want to spoil. It is just that good. There are moments that will tug at your heart a little bit. People have talked about how there's no character development in this movie. I do not agree with that. There are little moments, for me, that there are these little moments that build up the characters, and it doesn't even have to use that much dialogue to do it. It's just enough to make you care about the character that you are invested. So, I always like to do my little scale, and it's funny. I gave, Parasite a 5. This is just one of those years. 2019 was just one of those years where there were so many great films. It gives me hope for 2020. So, but with all that being said, I'm giving 1917 a 5. It's that good. It's crazy. It's hard to believe that I'm starting this off with 2 5s and not a bad review. I feel like I need to go watch a bad movie on purpose just to throw some yin to the yang in all of this. But, it's amazing, this film, the technical achievements. And if Roger Deakins doesn't win Best Cinematography for this film at the Oscars, it's going to be one of the, I just did the 6 Oscar mistakes. That would be probably the greatest of all time. There is no way he doesn't win. And there's some great cinematography in films this year. Just the joke, in Joker and everything. But you just got to see it. That's all there is. You just have to see this film. It is so good. So, and speaking of the Oscars, soon I'm going to do a video where I talk about, my picks for the upcoming Oscars, who I think's going to win, who I think's going to win, who I think should win, all of that. A video for that. I've actually thought about going live on a live stream that night when the Oscars are on and kind of, doing a live commentary with it. I think that would be really cool. So we'll see. But anyway, if you dig this video, please, 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 please like, subscribe, hit the little bell. Leave some comments on your thoughts on the movie. I would love to hear it. But until next time, go watch movies. Peace.